get that answered. Jackson's here. So basically we have enough for a volleyball team now. Let me see. Jackson is right under Matthew, so there. Okay. All right, the question was on labs, and I guess this pertains to tests as well. Do drop your lowest score. Now, if you don't turn in something, that of course is a 0. Hopefully that will be your lowest score. Now, if you don't turn in more than one of the zeros stands, okay, because I only drop your one lowest lab score and your one lowest test score. The research paper cannot be dropped. That's a score that cannot be dropped. The final exam cannot be dropped. It's only the chapter test 1 through 9 or the labs 1 through 9. One each can be dropped if it helps raise your average, which hopefully it would. Okay, if you have, say, didn't turn in a research paper, you may need every test score you can to pull that 0 up. Okay, so I wouldn't drop a test score if that hurts your average, only if it helps your average. Same thing with the lab, though. I can't imagine a circumstance when dropping your, well, yeah, if someone has all 25s on all the labs, I'll leave them all in there. It's not going to change your average any. It's still going to be a 25. Or any other fixed number like that. If you all have the same scores for all 9 labs, then I'll leave them all in there. But most of the time, someone's got some deviation somewhere. So did that answer your question? Okay. Any others? I don't know. It depends on when I'm freed up this afternoon to start grading again. Yesterday, I was printing most of the afternoon. I had classes from 10 till 4 almost, and I got a lot of grading done, but I still printed off at least that many or more yesterday in the afternoon, and I'm still working on grading that. Now here's the other issue, and I think you may have heard that this morning in the other class. I don't know why. I don't know the full ramifications here, but I'm using a bedroom up here as an office, and the printer's in another bedroom across the hall and diagonal away. That's the only place we had where we had a 3-prong plug that we could put it in. I'm running off a 3-prong plug in the bathroom. We live in an old house that didn't have, that kind of wiring. So anyway, it's remote. I have to send things, how do they call it? Wireless, to get to the printer. So most of the time it prints okay. Not super fast, but it does print. But boy, last night, and this has happened before too, it slowed down to a crawl. Finally, I just started grading in between. I usually wait and make sure it printed properly before I delete. So I still am doing that, but I just got tired of sitting and just waiting for the printer. So I started grading papers while I was waiting. And it would be 10, 15, 20 minutes to print one page. It wasn't that it was printing all that time, but it was just sitting there flashing like it was getting ready to print, and every now and then it said unable to connect to the printer or this, that, and the other thing. So I don't know what's going on, but I have a suspicion that certain types of files are harder for it to translate. That's one guess. Another thing is late in the day the signal may get weaker. That may be it. It may also be, I don't know, that more people are on Blackboard and Blackboard slows down. I have no idea why it happens, but it does happen. So I can't give you a deadline when I'll have them graded because I'm still printing things off. And I think I got through on the weekly activities. I got through week 4, I believe, last night before finally I gave up and went to bed. So as soon as I can start today, I'll get back to doing that. Hopefully it'll print faster than it was doing last night, but even if it doesn't, I'll be in here grading papers. So um, I don't know if that was a good answer or not, but I will be grading. Now, I don't think I have to have grades in before Monday at noon or sometime like that. I don't know exactly when they've set the deadline for it, but I will have part of the day tomorrow to work on it. The trouble is I've got a doctor's appointment next Tuesday, and I have to have my blood work done tomorrow, and I also need to get my flu shot while I'm over there to get the blood work done. So I will be out of the office for part of the time tomorrow morning, but then we're leaving. My wife's parents had a place up on Smith Lake that we're now responsible for taking care of because they're too old, and so we've got to go and take care of a few items there. So I'm going to take all those from not just this class, but all the stuff that I don't have graded today or for tomorrow morning, I will be taking with me and grading over the weekend. That's assuming I can get everything printed off today and tomorrow before we leave town. If I don't get it all printed, then when we get back on Sunday, I'll be printing like crazy again. Now, let me say this. I think I'm preaching to the choir here, because you are the folks who are here now, and you've generally been here quite often. Brianna is here. Let me get her marked here. But there are some people that I'm missing quite a bit of work from, and that's been the thing that's been slowing me down so much. I kind of understand remote and all like this, but I have had probably more come in the last week than I've had in any 3 weeks combined before this. Okay, maybe even more than that. So just looking at this, research papers, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 10 in so far, and I think we're down to a class of about, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, I think we're down to 17 students now, so that means 7 people haven't turned in research papers. Lab 1, I've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I'm missing 3 lab 1s. Test 1, I'm missing 1, 2, 3, 4 test 1s. And they're not always the same students. Lab 2, I'm missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Test 2, I'm missing 1, 2, 3, 4. Now some of these I've printed and haven't graded yet. Lab 3, I'm missing a bunch. I think only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 have turned those in out of whatever I said it was, 17 or whatever. So you see I'm missing quite a few items from quite a few students, and of course the more recent items I'm missing more of them because people haven't turned them in. So I can't predict when I'm going to get the grading caught up, just because I don't know how much y'all are going to dump on me right at the very end. Sancho is coming in. Let me get Sancho marked present. I think right under Jackson. That's it. Okay. So that's why I can't give a more definitive answer when I'm going to have it done. I don't know how much I'm going to get. But just looking at this, there's a few people, this is what I was trying to get at before, that there is one person in particular I have received, except for the syllabus agreement page, that's the only thing I've gotten in from that student. There's one other student I've only gotten like 2 items from, and most of the rest of you are doing pretty well at getting most things in. Now, and there are a few others that I'm missing quite a bit. If at the end of the term, and here comes Andres, let me get him here. I've got to find out exactly when. Oh, here's Christian coming. Let me get him in. All right. By the way, I just saw somebody else that I've only got 2 items from so far. So, folks, there's a few folks who owe me an awful lot of paperwork. Okay. Now, if I don't get it all in by, let's just say grades are due Monday at noon. If I don't have something in by Sunday evening, there's hardly any way I can get it graded, averaged, and everything done on Monday, because I got classes Monday. I've got classes from 10 till 4. So I've got 2 hours in the morning, and that's all. So there's very little way I'm going to catch a lot of late papers over the weekend and get them graded and everything. So what I'll be doing for those people who are behind and don't get caught up in time, I'll be giving incompletes. Now, first mini-term classes have a big advantage over other classes because you have until into the next term to clear that incomplete. But please remember this. Okay, here comes Denisha. Let me get her here. Okay, please remember this. I'm retiring on the 1st of February. Well, what that means, I don't know if this is going to be the case, but this would be my suspicion. On the 1st of February, my Lawson email will probably stop. Okay? My access to Blackboard will probably stop. Okay? So therefore, I cannot clear any incompletes after the 1st of February. Now, most of the time you have something like 6 weeks into the next term to clear an incomplete. I'm not going to be here 6 weeks into the next term. I'm only going to be here through the 1st of January. But the advantage you first mini-term students have, you've got the rest of this term to clear your incompletes and January to clear them. Now, second mini-term classes and full-term classes, if they get any incompletes, they've only got the month of January. So, if you're in a situation that you haven't gotten me everything I need to have, and you doubt that you're going to get me everything I need to have before Monday morning, because let's just assume grades are due in noon on Monday, no way I'm going to be able to get everything done. You'll be getting it incomplete. Now, the sooner you get it to me, the sooner I'll be able to clear the incomplete. So please, please, folks, try to get everything into me today, if possible. If not today, tomorrow, if possible. And since I'm going to be out of town, where I'm going to be out of town, there's very lousy internet service. Very lousy. I don't have a printer there either. So I'm not going to be able to print off a lot of stuff after sometime Friday, let's just say Friday afternoon. I don't know what time we'll be leaving, but we've got to leave sometime in the afternoon on Friday. I'll be working at things as long as I can up until we leave. But after that, I don't know what time we're coming back Sunday, but whatever time it is, I'll come in Sunday evening and try to get as much other printed as I can. But if you're turning, yes. Check on what for you? Okay. Okay. Now, I think you said you did it on the weekly things, right? Okay. Now, as I was telling the others before you got here, I got through, I think, around week 4. Let me just see yours. Now, okay, I can do this for as many of you as necessary. I haven't found your research paper yet. I don't know if you've turned that in yet or not. I did get your first lab, and I marked it, and it's out there on Blackboard. I don't recall seeing your first test anywhere there, so I didn't do that. I got your second lab and your second test, and I got your third lab. Now, that's about where I ran out of time last night, and I was explaining to the others. Now, I think you have more stuff out there, but I just didn't get any further past that week. And the reason for that, the main reason, is my printer, the The later it got, the slower the printer got. Now, I don't know what the reason for that was, whether the signal started getting bad in the evening. I don't know why. It's a remote printer. It sends it wireless, and it just was taking forever to print anything. So everything slowed to a grinding halt last night. I'm going to try to do more of it today. If it's just as slow, since my wife's not down in the office, she went into her office at UAB today, so I may go down to her computer or take my computer down there and hook up to her printer, because that's a direct link, and I might be able to print faster. So I may be able to get away with that until she comes back. But yes, last night everything was grinding to a halt, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's a signal issue. Yeah. But I did get some of the things there, but there were some things missing that I was expecting to see. But I didn't get past somewhere around week 3 or week 4. Yeah. If you got it out there, I'll see it. Okay. Now, it may be that I won't be able to print it because something may be screwed up with the what you sent and what my printer will receive. If that's the case, I will try to get a message to you somehow and say I can't print this document. But the trouble is on those weekly things. This is something I've never used those before. They made us use them this time. I send the message on there, and I don't think the message ever goes until I put a grade there. So basically, if I can't print something, I'm going to have to put a 0 there in order for you to get the message back. And it's not going to be that you got a 0 or you didn't turn something in. It's that my printer wouldn't print what you sent. And we have had that happen before because some, suffixes on the files, my computer won't open them or the printer won't acknowledge them. So if I have to, I'll put a 0, and then you might get that message. But I don't even know how to tell you to get that message. You'd have to look, I think, on that each one of those week's activities. I think that's a terrible way to do things, but that's how they've set us up and wanting us to do it. So, and Darius, I saw your light come on a time or two. Did you want to say something? Okay. When did you turn it in? Okay. Lab 4. Yes, I do. Wait. Let me see. I'm trying to follow down. Oh, no, wait. I don't have it graded. Let me see if I have it printed. Okay. Okay. By the way, I've got James, if you're there, I've got your test 3 and test 4. I've got Angelita's lab 5. No, I don't have, and there is, unless, if you just sent it in recently, within the last day or two, I just may not have gotten to it. Because you see what I'm having to do, I'm having to check emails, I'm having to check Blackboard messages, and I'm having to check each of those weekly activities. And for this class, that's a lab and that's a test every week. Okay, so that's a lot of checking, and Blackboard's slow and Blackboard's awkward, and I have to make sure that I'm checking it thoroughly. I'm slow. Okay, so it's sometimes is a grueling process. If you just turned it in, I'll tell you what, yesterday I finished checking emails and started checking the Blackboard weekly stuff. I was checking Blackboard messages before I did my emails. So it's been a few days since I've done the Blackboard messages. So if you turn them in recently, I may not have printed those yet. And there was also a problem with Blackboard messages. They were not printing well either. And I think it's a Blackboard issue. I don't think it's my printer. I don't think it's a wireless. I think it's Blackboard, because most of the stuff that comes in through emails, I'm able to print pretty easily. It's the Blackboard stuff that usually slows things down terribly. And I don't know what Blackboard does to it, but Blackboard seems to be a very awkward package. So I don't know. Sorry. That's probably not a good answer. It may be there, but I can check. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. If y'all will check your sent file or however you send it and see if it's there, if it's got sent to me, the odds are I've either got it but not printed, I've printed but not graded. One of the others. Usually if I've gotten something, I acknowledge that. Now those things that come in through the weekly stuff, I go on and grade those when I get them, because the same screen that it comes in on, I can put your grade on. Of course, the emails and the messages, I can't put a grade on there, so I just print those and hold those till later. But those that I have, if I can print them off the screen, those weekly stuff, I print those and then grade them while I've got them there in front of me, and then put it on the on Blackboard. Okay, James, I saw your light come on at the time. Did you want to say something?
Yes, sir. So if we're dropping a lab,
Right.
that puts a total of like 200 points, right? Because instead of nine, it's 225, right?
Okay. I don't mess around with total points, but you're right. If you have 8 labs at 25 points each, that would be 200 points, right? Uh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So we'll be only on 200 points after you drop some labs.
Okay. What I do, I average the lab grades. Okay. I'll average your top 8 lab grades. That should be a number between, hopefully not close to 0, but between 0 and 25, hopefully close to 25. Okay. I take your research paper, your 9 tests, and your final exam. Drop one of those 9 tests. I won't drop the research paper, I won't drop the final exam. Drop the lowest one of the 9 tests, average those together. That's a total of 10 scores. So I average those together, take 75% of that, add it to your lab average, that'll be your final score. So I don't go by total points, I go by averages. So
I get that.
right.
Because like I was doing the percentages and everything.
Right.
That just clarified for me. Thank you.
All right, surely.
One more question.
Surely.
I was gonna say, lab 4, that was the minerals project.
That's correct.
Okay, so I sent that to you, so you should have that. I sent that to you on the 13th.
13th of September.
Last one.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And how did you send it? Do you remember?
Through email.
Through email. Okay.
Right.
Okay. It seems like I remember seeing it, and I don't know right now why it's not graded yet.
Yes, sir. I can resend it to you if you need.
Okay, let me check. I have the file right here, because it seems like I did. Now, this may have happened, but I don't think it did. Not with you. I think it's another class. Now this is lab 4 we're talking about. Okay, it's test 5, test 4. I have your test 4. I just saw it. Okay. Okay. It's Andares, right? Okay. Here's what I may have done. I'll have to check on this. I may have put. Did you send me lab 3 also?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. You have the same score on both of those, so I may have just forgotten to write down the score, because I do have it, and I just wrote it down. I graded it a long time ago. I may have just not. I may have failed to do that. Now there's one other possibility. Hold on just a minute. Let me see. Nope. Okay. I thought maybe I put it under somebody else's name because someone else had that same score, but I've got hers too, so I'm okay. I just added that to my grade book. I haven't put it on Blackboard yet, so I did get it. Okay. Any others? Okay. Some people have come and gone. There's not a lot of new stuff to hit today. We finished everything. Um, Let me just make sure. Did everyone get the Chapter 24 test? That was test 9, and also the final exam. Is anyone missing or not able to access either of those? I'm just getting Asher here, so let me put Asher in. Okay. Now, yes, if you're doing Physical Science 112, you'll have another research paper for that, because that's a different subject. It's still physical science, but that will be physics and chemistry. A whole bunch of other topics to choose from there. And I heard the joy in your voice when I said that, didn't I? Yes, okay. All right. Any other questions, issues, concerns, problems? You want me to check on anything? I'll be glad to check on it.
When are we taking the exam?
Okay, I sent it to you already, so you take it whenever you want to and send it back to me.
Where did you send it to?
Okay, the final exam, and I'm trying to remember, seems like I posted it in 2 places. In your Blackboard, there is a place called Final Exam. If I could put it there, I put it there. I just can't remember if it allowed me to put it there or not. But I'm almost certain I put it under Blackboard Messages as well. Some of you have turned it in already. Where did you find it?
Messenger.
Under Messages. So check Blackboard Messages. I know it's there because at least one person has already gotten it, and I think you've sent it in, and I haven't graded those yet. I'm trying to get through the other stuff first.
Yeah, I see it now.
Okay.
16 questions?
No, it's more than 10 questions. It's something like 16 to 20, something in that range. Okay, now let me go over that final again. When you see it there, you'll see letters A through something. I don't remember what it goes down to, P or somewhere down there in the alphabet. That will be on the left-hand side, okay? And that's followed by a definition or description. Then you'll see numbers near the right-hand side, about midway to the right-hand side, with names, words by that, words or phrases, okay? Then you'll see the blank. So let's just say one of those words, I'm just going to pick one out of the air. It may or may not be there, climate. Okay, let's just say climate is there. Go to the column A through P, the very left-hand side of the page, find the definition, the description that matches climate best. That's the letter you put in the blank. So that blank has letters in it matching the words right next to the blank to the descriptions that's over on the left-hand side. Does that make sense? Now, most of you have turned it in correctly. I've had a few that chose some creative ways to do it. I was able to figure them out so far, okay? Like I say, I haven't graded those yet, but I think I can figure out what you're doing. I always have a few students who either put numbers there and the numbers don't make any sense until I can figure out how they make sense, or they do a variety of things. I will try to figure out, and if I figure out a way that seems like it's making sense, I'll grade them that way. If I can't make any sense out of it whatsoever, I'll send it back to you and say, please do it this way, okay? But so far, I've been able to figure out everybody. But like I say, I haven't graded this class yet. All right, any other questions, issues, concerns? I can look up anything for you. I can answer a question on the lab, answer a question. No, I won't answer the test question, but I'll clarify a test question if that's giving you problems. I'll let you know if I've either printed it but not graded it but not posted it, or not printed it yet. I'll try to answer as many of those as I can. The trouble is looking on Blackboard will take some time, but I'll do it if you want me to do that, especially those weekly things. And like I was telling the people earlier who were here, those weekly things are, Blackboard is so incredibly slow. They take a long time to get through all those. And then printing off of those has turned out to be a nightmare. Some of them print okay, others, I don't know what's going on. Like I said, it could be my signals here. I don't think so. Like, some people have turned in thing in 2 different files, say, or 2 different pages. I'll print the first page, it prints fine. The second page is exactly the same kind of thing. I'll go to print that, and it takes 15-20 minutes to print. And it's the same type of file. There's nothing different about it. Of course, it's different words on it, but that shouldn't confuse the printer any. So I don't know. I don't know if it's Blackboard. I don't know if it's my signal here. I don't know what it is, but last night I was hoping to have finished most of the printing yesterday, and it slowed down in the evening yesterday so slowly that I only got a few pages done, say, every half hour, and it I didn't get much done then. I was sitting here, I just started grading stuff while I was waiting for it to print. So, and I don't want to put too many things in the queue, because then I can't remember what I put there and what I didn't. So I wait till something prints before I put something else in. So.
Well, where can I can't find the chapter 24 test.
Okay. It's either under, now I'm pretty sure I put it under Blackboard messages as well. I may have put it under, or I may have put it under week 9, where it says test 9. If I don't remember how that is phrased there. Some of those I could put them on, some I couldn't. Whoever set up the templates for us, they allowed us to put things in some of them, didn't allow us to put things in other, and it made it so awkward. So I put everything under Blackboard messages. If I could put it under the other thing, I put it there just in case y'all were looking there. You could find it in both places.
Okay, yeah, I see it now.
Okay, surely. Okay, any other questions, issues, concerns, problems? I'll be glad to try to clear up anything I can. Some of you have communicated with me. Y'all are having computer problems, like computers dying or this, that, and the other. I understand that completely. Last spring when we had to leave campus, a computer I'd been using for years, it was a great old computer. After about 2 or 3 weeks home doing everything here, it just died. I mean, died. It wasn't, and we were able to get a new charger and a new adapter, and it brought it back to life for about 2 more weeks, and it died again. So I understand electronics dying on you. I've been there, done that, and bought a t-shirt. So I understand that. Just get me stuff as you can. If I don't, in case any of you came in since I said this before, if I don't have everything I need by the time they require me to have grades in, then I will give you an incomplete, and then you'll have the rest of this term to clear that, and the month of January. Nothing past the month of January. I know that by the books it's the next 6 weeks into the next term. I'm not going to be here 6 weeks into the next term. I'm retiring the 1st of February, and my guess is my email address will no longer be valid, and my Blackboard rights will be gone. So I won't be able to get anything from you, and that'll be the last chance I'll have. So please, if you don't get everything in and to me because you're having difficulties or something like that, get it to me as soon as you can. I'll give you the incomplete. As soon as I get your material, I will grade it, post the grades, average the grades, and put your grade out there. They have a fairly easy way for us to do that now. It used to be on campus, it wasn't too hard, but then when we left campus, it got to be kind of a pain in the neck. But they have an electronic way we can do that now, which is not too bad. So usually that does pretty easily. Any other questions, issues, concerns, problems? Now, here's, yeah, Shirley.
I had turned in my course syllabus agreement and also my topic, but it says in the grade book that there's either not a grade or it has a 0. But I turned those in as soon as I got
Okay. I have you marked as both of them, turned them in. So I don't know why that's showing that. It may be, you see, I have no way to enter that off of the weekly activities. I have to do that straight through the test bank. Now I hate to do the test bank now because everybody will see everybody else's grade, but I will go into the test bank and make sure that's been updated. If you sent those in after the very first part of the term, I may not have been back in there to upgrade those, but I have them in my grade book. That was Labrina talking, right? Is that right?
Sorry, I forgot to take it off mute. Yes.
Okay, yes. Well, then I've got it in my grade book. I've got both your syllabus agreement and your research topic. Now, I don't have the research paper yet, do I?
No,
Okay, good. Okay. I didn't think I did. But yeah, I have those. And the next time I can get in the grade book, and that's the thing, when I'm having to go through all these weekly things, I don't have time to go to the grade book. And I'm trying to print everything first, and then when I get it all printed and graded, then I'll go to the grade book and get things entered. But there has been so much stuff coming in the last week or two, I'm way behind in just about everything. So I'm going to try to catch up today, tomorrow, what I can over the weekend, because I won't have any internet access to speak of then, but I'll do what I can. And then I have Monday morning, 2 hours. Now, if they say we can have grades in on Tuesday, then I have a little more time. I'll have 2 more hours in the afternoon on Monday, and maybe some in the evening on Monday. But I'll be working as hard as I can to get as much done as possible before then. So, any questions, issues, problems, concern that I can address and help you out with now? Okay. Now, I kind of hate to end the session because people may be coming in late. I know quite a few of our students, I don't know if it's work schedules or something, but they're just typically here a little bit later. So what I'm thinking of doing is keeping the Zoom open, but I won't be sharing the screen. So I imagine what you see right now is what you'll be seeing then. If and when someone comes in or you go out and come back or something like that, when I see you come in, then I'll let you back in the class or let you in the class if it's someone who hasn't been here before. But I'll let people in when they show up, when I see it. Now, I'll be doing other things, and I don't know when I'm in Blackboard if I'm going to see you pop in, so I'll periodically be checking. So that way I'll be able to be printing things off maybe while we're still active, but you won't be seeing what I'm printing off because some of you may not have done that. I don't want you seeing somebody else's test, okay? So I'll try to do it without posting, without screen share. I know a few people are leaving already. Do you want to go on and end the session, or do you want to keep it active and just me leave the screen up here? Let me know. Okay. Oh, and by the way, I meant to ask this. I should have asked it when more people were here. Has anyone seen Cedar Course evaluations open? I haven't, but they don't always tell us. You have not. Okay. Well, if they do ever open them, please do it. Okay, I appreciate it. It's not going to make a huge difference for me. I'll be retiring, but it will be important for the other first mini-term instructors because they need to have that input. Um, but I appreciate your input, even though I won't be around to benefit much from it anymore. But I do appreciate it. Y'all been a great class. Um, I wish we could have been in class so I could have interacted with you personally, but there was just no way we could do that with the situation as it is now. Labrina, let me ask you, where is it that you are in that picture?
I'm a transit student and
Uh-huh.
I go to the University of Montevallo. So there's a park called Oak Park in
Uh,
Montevallo,
uh-huh.
and they have a little waterfall.
Uh-huh. That's a beautiful structure. I don't know, is that, I assume that's man-made or is that
Yes,
geological?
man-made.
Man-made, okay. It's a good outside outdoorsy look. I love that. So I enjoyed looking at that all term. So
Thank you.
okay. All right. Any others? Would you rather I end the session or keep it open? Anybody?
I actually wanted to know what my current grade in the class was. I haven't been able to see it on Blackboard.
Okay. Um, all right. Now I don't want to call out your grade in here, but let me just tell you what I've got and what I don't. I do have your research paper. I have your first lab. Now the research paper may not be showing up on Blackboard yet. I don't know if it is or not. The first lab I think should be showing up on Blackboard. The first test should be showing up on Blackboard. The lab 2 I don't have unless it's been turned in fairly recently. The second test that should be out there on Blackboard. The lab 3, that's the moon lab, I don't think I've gotten that one yet. Test 3 I don't think I've gotten yet. Lab 4 I don't recall that I've gotten yet. Now if you put it on Blackboard it may be there and I just haven't printed it yet. So if
Most of the stuff will probably still on Blackboard.
okay, test 4 I've gotten and it should be on Blackboard. Lab 6 I've gotten and it should be on Blackboard, or it may not be. One of those labs was not, we had 9 labs in 8 weeks, so one lab didn't get on a weekly schedule, and I have to enter those on the grade book separately. So if I've gotten this recently, that may be where that one is. Test 6 I have, it again may be in that same boat. Lab 7 I have, and then let me see if there's some that I haven't graded yet of yours. I was printing off a bunch of stuff last night, but it was incredibly slow, as I was telling people earlier. Wait, I'm in the wrong one. Okay. And like I was saying before, I've got, I think James has already left. I've got his test 3 and test 4 I haven't graded yet. Angelita's lab 5 I haven't graded yet. Diana's lab 5 I haven't graded yet. Keandra's test 5 I haven't graded yet. Diana's test 5 I haven't graded yet. Brianna's lab 6 I haven't graded yet. Denisha, Asher, Diana, test 6 I haven't graded yet. Asher, I've got your lab 7, but I haven't graded it yet. Labrina, I have your lab 7 I haven't graded yet. Brianna, I have your lab 7 I haven't graded yet. Keandra's lab 8 I haven't graded. Diana's lab 8 I haven't graded. Angelita's test 8 I haven't graded. Denisha's test 8. James' test 8. Andari's test 8. Brianna's test 8. Denisha's lab 9. Keandra's lab 9. I have goodness gracious, I'm having trouble saying it. And Derry's Lab 9. And then I have Denisha's Test 9, Keandra's Test 9. I have Gerald's final exam and Keandra's final exam. So those I haven't graded, but I have printed. The rest of them, if you've sent them, they're there, okay? And if I can finally get around to finishing up things, if I'm missing something, I will email you. Even if I have to give you an incomplete, I'll email you and let you know why I had to give you an incomplete. And then if you thought you sent something, but it just never came through or something like that, we can get that straightened out. The good news is this course isn't going to keep anyone from taking another course second mini-term. There's nothing that this is depending on. Even if you're in Physical Science 112, you could have an incomplete in this and still take 112. They don't build on each other. They're two different subjects. Biology 101 and 102, yeah, those are, you have to have 101 before you do 102. Not so in Physical Science. You can do 111, 112, either order, just one, neither, whatever. So, any other questions, issues, concerns, problems, anything you want to know, I'll be glad to try to look them up for you.
I was actually going to say I'm almost seeing the grade out.
Okay. Well, I've told you what I have. But it's not. I've got enough things I'm missing. I hate to.
Oh, I
Yeah. Yeah. It won't be a final grade. Yeah. And as soon as I can get off here, I'll be printing and then grading and then entering on Blackboard and that kind of stuff.
Well,
Okay.
let me let you go so you can get these grades in and stuff now.
Okay. Is that everybody's okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. If you are in touch with any of the others who haven't shown up yet and they get in touch with you and ask, tell them what's happened, that I went on and closed it. If they need to get in touch with me, email me, send me a message on Blackboard. I'll be either on email or on Blackboard just about the rest of the day. So I should be able to see them at some time or another. But when I'm on Blackboard, I won't see the emails. When I'm on emails, I won't see the Blackboard. But ultimately, I'll get there, hopefully. Okay? All right. Well, I'll go on and end the session then, and I will try to get things in as soon as I can, and hopefully you'll be able to see it. So,
See you next time.
okay, take care. Looking forward to it. Bye-bye.